What do I do now? So in the spirit of just having some fun, over the summer, I had spilled my Griot's Garage surface wash, that white soap. By the way, it's pH neutral, works amazing, smells amazing, and is reasonably cost effective if you're going to do a touchless wash. That stuff is like 52 bucks a gallon. One of the best I've ever used. Anyway, in the spirit of trial and error, when it spilled, I rinsed it like 8 hours later, and you can't see the streak over there. It's the cleanest part on my concrete. I believe that's the one. This morning I sprayed some surface prep, also Griot's. So they're sold together, like the surface prep. I'll show them to you right now. Surface prep and the surface wash. That's diluted like 10 to 1. And then this is concentrated soap right here. What we're going to do, just to figure it out, is to see if it was the surface wash or the prep that works so good. So I put a trigger in here. We're just going to put it on some oil stains this morning. Let it sit all day. Let it get all grimy. We're going to bring you back later and rinse it and see what happens here. See if you guys, this is just like trial and error stuff. That's how we do it on this channel anyway. Not a lot of science behind this at all. Not that there really ever is on my stuff. But I saw this after I rinsed it last year, or earlier this year rather, and I was blown away at how well that worked. It smells like coconut or something. You want to eat it. So it's one of the best smelling soaps out there. pH neutral and touchless. Now, can it be completely touchless? I think that's really going to depend on dwell time. So how patient are you? I'll tell you this. That surface prep right there, I'm pretty sure it wasn't the surface prep that cleaned the concrete so good, because that's not sitting proper. That down there, the soap, is sitting how I remember it sitting, because you got to remember my bottle had tipped over and it was just leaking out from under the cap. And then later that day, hours and hours and hours later, I just rinsed it with a garden hose. No pressure, garden hose. And it's the cleanest part of my concrete. So I'll bring you guys back later today. I'm going to let that sit all day. We'll just see what happens. What am I proving here? Nothing. Just having fun, really. But that is an amazing soap and reasonably priced. There's one other that's that cheap or a little cheaper. That's pretty good. Whatever. Anyway, we'll come back later and rinse it. Stay tuned, all right? Okie dokie. We let it sit out there and dry out long enough. It's about 10 after 4. And I didn't look at the clock when we sprayed the oil spots down here with the Griot surface wash and the surface prep. But it was about 10 o'clock, 10:30 this morning. So I'm going to go out here. I see the soap is completely dried out. Now looking at it dried on the concrete, I know it wasn't the surface prep, because that stuff flashed off right away. Right away. Yeah. Let's see here. I sprayed it here this morning. It's all dried out already. This is what the spots looked like before. Get all black and nasty. That is the surface wash. The soap's completely dehydrated. Will it remove those oil spots? I don't know. But we're going to find out. Let's rinse them out and see what happens here. Let's go. So the surface wash is here. And that already flashed off and dehydrated, and it's gone. Probably be some sudsy here, but it's not going to remove those spots, I don't think. Nice and windy today. We got a little bit of rain. I think it was yesterday or day before. It was yesterday. So, starting to get a little bit of fall weather here. Thank goodness. I'm done with the heat. There's a lot of sectionness right here. Get hot these summer days. All right, so here's some of the surface wash. This is the soap. A little after 4, so what I'll do, I've got to do yard work still. Rinse this completely and bring you back when it's all dried out and see if it removed the oil spots, okay? Last time, if I remember right, I didn't even use a nozzle. I just ran water over it and it cleaned up really nice. Getting that pina colada or coconut smell. Stuff smells really good. Man, that's a lot of soapage I wasted. Good Lord. Good thing Griot's does sales all the time. Little booger chino hanging on right there. Look at that. See it? Little booger chino, watch. Yeah, booger chino, I like it. What's a booger chino? Well, it's just that. It's a booger chino, man. All right, guys. Bring you back in an hour or two once it dries out. We'll see what happened. So, you can still see some staining with it wet, but when it dries out, will they be all the way gone? Will it be a lighter, cleaner section of concrete? I think it will be. Do I think it'll be as good as the last time when I accidentally spilled some and it sat there for like 12 hours and it was hot as heck out? I really don't think so, but let's see. I don't know. Does heat play a factor in that? How well it pulls that stuff out of the concrete and cleans? I have no idea. I think it's the surfactants in the soap. It's a really good product. Anyway, tune back in a couple hours. We'll be back, all right? Oh. All right, everybody. So it warmed up this afternoon. I mean, I made a video, the second part to the 3-part video that you'll never know because I'm going to put it all together anyway, like 20 minutes ago. So I didn't even have to wait a couple hours. I was planning on shooting this right before I did yard work. And that'll be probably within the next hour. However, I just checked out here and everything has dried up. The spots are probably 75% to 80%, maybe 90% better than they were. Here's what blows my mind about the surface wash by Griot's Garage. pH neutral. And that stuff cleans concrete, if you let it dwell and dry out and sit for a couple hours, better than 90% of all degreasers I've used. Please explain that. Griot's, if you see this, I doubt you will, but explain that. Good Lord, it's impressive. So, here, these spots here, the little islands here in a row, that was done with the surface prep. Now, had I put surface prep on those concentrate, probably a different result. Probably would have worked really good. I didn't. Put it on like 10 to 1, very weak. There were some spots, I want to say right in here. May have been right up there that I sprayed, but I know the spots down here are the ones I know for sure. So that one, and that big one there, we're done with surface prep. And then I want to say there's a couple in here because they were right in line with that curb. Are the stains still here? Yes, they are. There are still some dark spots. And then some shoe prints, virtually gone. I didn't show you those earlier. Shame on me. If you look good enough in the beginning of the video, you'll see the prints here. They're still there. They're like these right here. They were like those. Right there. See those? So, yeah. Isn't that insane? So now I know I can use surface prep. So I'm pretty impressed with that, what it does to my concrete. I have a cleaner here that's heavy. You don't want to use it really on a car. You can, but kind of be dangerous because anyway, it would clean this concrete like nothing. However, I don't want to get into that. But may have to go and buy a gallon or 5 gallon of this surface wash. Griot's Garage surface wash, the white soap. That stuff's amazing. It blows my mind. So anyway, just thought we'd do that for fun. So I'll post this tonight and just playtime, good time. So you spray this on a car and let it dwell for 5-10 minutes, you're going to have a clean car. That's pretty impressive. None of the other touchless washes that I use clean my concrete like that. None of them. And I've got about 5 or 6 here. None of them. All right. That's all I've got. Take care, guys.